Yes. The other one has me as the doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Do you want to post that?
Yeah.
Do you want to give a little back, make sure that you get, the people are having a little bit of difficulty with the volume.
Okay.
So,
Yep,
sorry
yep.
to stage this, but thank God you're not really sick.
I'm not quite as quietly spoken as Rob. I just want to share that with you. Okay, come in, have a seat.
Thank you.
Met before. I'm Dr. Rob. How can I help you?
There's nothing really at home. My wife said I should come in and see you, so, you know, keep her happy, really. So, here I am.
Okay. And?
Well, I don't know. It's just a bit of a funny incident this morning. It was a bit unusual. I was up a ladder. I'm repairing the decorator, and I wanted to pick the ceiling, and my right arm sort of went quite weak. So I came down, and my voice was a bit kind of slurry, and so I'll have a cup of tea. So I got a cup of tea, and I found that the tea was like kind of dribbling down my mouth. So it was a bit odd, but then like 20 minutes, and it began to wear off, and I would say, you know, after an hour, I was completely back to normal. Well, I didn't really think much of it, but then I popped home at lunchtime. And my wife said, I told her, and she says, well, that sounds like stroke. I said, what's stroke? But she said, oh, you know, you better get yourself down and get checked out. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, well, it sounds as if the wife was right, to be honest. You're a pain.
She usually is.
Yeah, I know, it's pain, isn't
Yeah.
it? When they... So just, you're up a ladder and you had this funny feeling and it went a bit weak?
Yeah, just suddenly weak.
And did you drop the paintbrush or whatever you were holding?
No, I managed to put it down, but I came down the ladder and just sat down for a bit. So.
And then you had some dribbling when you had a cup of tea as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Have you ever had...
unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, I'm sorry. Have you ever had anything like it before?
No.
Not a quick look at your notes before you came in. You had blood pressure for a bit.
Yeah.
Normally being reasonably well controlled?
Yeah, I'm on the 10 meg of Ramapro, is it?
Yeah.
Been no problems.
Okay, and you've never had an incident like this before?
No.
Okay. How long did you say it lasted for?
I'd say it wore off like after about 20 minutes, and then I would say it was probably about an hour, and I was like back to normal. So, and I popped on. So. And
if I examined you now, presumably everything's, from what you're saying, it's completely back to normal. You've got your strengths.
Right.
Certainly your mouth is moving normally as you talk to me. Okay. I'm afraid to say that sounds as if you might have had what we call a TIA, which is not quite a stroke, but might be a warning sign that you're about to have one.
Right.
Well, how that makes you feel?
Well, yeah, it's not what I was expecting, so it's scary.
It's scary, isn't it? I don't want to be, but I need to actually say, I'm a bit worried.
There's a chance I could have like a full stroke. Or...
That's what we need to work out, whether it really was one of these little episodes or whether it was something else. I don't like scaring people, but what you said to me rings a few warning bells. It says we need to help this man now and work out what that was.
Right. So
your wife was right to send you, and now we need to do something about it. Okay? What that would, I'm going to examine you in a minute, take a blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. But in essence, what it means is that you need to go to the local hospital sometime in the next few days and find out whether this really was what we call a TIA. What that is fancy Latin words, but it basically means that the blood circulation you have just temporarily closed off a bit.
Right.
What we don't want is for it to close off, which is what the stroke is.
Right, and that if you have one of these TIA things, it means that there's a good chance that you could have a...
If we leave it untreated,
right. Okay.
Yes. If we work out that's definitely what it was and put you on some medication, then actually it's designed to prevent any further untoward events. The medication's quite simple. You use some aspirin. But rather than leave you on a lifetime of aspirin, I need to just be certain that that's definitely what it is. So, sorry to be the bearer of a bit of bad news, but we need to take it seriously.
Okay. Sorry, it's just a bit of a shock, so.
It must be.
Yeah.
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 How could it be otherwise? You weren't expecting, you didn't walk in here expecting it. So,
no. So I've got to go to the hospital and.
We need to get you assessed in the hospital at the special clinic. I don't think I need to rush you up there as needs. So in the next few days, you need to be seen.
Okay.
And in the meantime, you need to take some aspirin to make absolutely certain that this, or as certain as we can, that this doesn't progress.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I guess some of them, I have to want to.
It's slightly more complicated because I suspect you drove here, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I'm on the payment decorator, so just work for myself. On island.
What happens if this happens to you while you're up the ladder and it's slightly more serious if you fall down? Even worse, what happens if you're driving the car?
It's just, I work for myself. I've got my family. I'm not working. I'm not earning. I have to. I've got to work.
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
It's an absolute nightmare. I've got to work. I've got my wife. I've got a daughter who's ill. It's my livelihood. I just work for myself.
And we want to get you back working just as quickly as we can, which is why the referral will be urgent and you'll be seen and assessed. And there's some room for that work. So I need to just check exactly.
So I wouldn't be able to drive at all?
Not for a few days until we get it sorted. Off the top of my head,
Okay.
But I know where to look to find that out, find out exactly how long it is.
But if we can get it sorted, I can get back to work and I can drive it out like within a couple of weeks or?
Yes.
Right, okay.
If you take it seriously, deal with it seriously, get it sorted out, you'll be back to work in as short a period of time as we possibly can. If we don't take it seriously, nothing might happen for a long time, but you might have the risk of having a stroke.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why you see so few people these days with full-blown strokes, like if you can remember your parents' generation or whatever, is because we take it seriously.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've known people who've had strokes and, really serious ones and, it's left them completely, disabled. Sorry, it's a lot to take in, really. Right, so I take the aspirin and get checked out, and then I should be able to get back to work within a couple of weeks.
I think it's a couple of weeks. I just need to look online to find the exact regulations, which I can do quite. I'll do quickly for this consultation, but it's about 2 or 3 weeks. So I think it's 2. Just check with that.
And they'll just check for, they're just going to check whether it's one of these TIA.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So they'll do some investigations. They'll make sure that it's nothing more than a TIA. They will then give you the proper advice about how to take aspirin and anything else that you need to do to make sure you don't have a stroke.
Right, okay.
So the aim would be to get you back absolutely as quickly as possible. and people in your position and in your job who have this kind of thing do get that.
Well, I need to, you know, so what about, can I drive home?
I don't think you can.
Well, let me call you a taxi. That was fabulous. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And just having a completely different type of consultation, that where somebody presented with a very definite physical symptom that fits with a very specific physical problem. And what Graham did, there was no sort of hesitation about that. He was very directional about the fact that yes, this was a problem, so we had to deal with that. But he then gave the patient lots of time to sort of re-emphasize that this was a problem, taking lots of time to sort of for that to sink in, and then but also make sure that we had the right current medical advice. We needed to check a few things about the fact that it's 4 weeks. You can't drive after a TIA. But that would have been, you would have checked that before giving it the definite. So, but it was a lot of the importance of empathising, but not shying away from the fact that we've got to deal with this potentially like catastrophic event if you hadn't dealt with it now. I think those are some of the things that were demonstrated in that. And I think that, again, just reminds us of the complete variety of general practice. That would be a typical patient in a general practice consulting room, and you've got to move from one to another. No, you don't have to remember absolutely everything about the minutiae of the latest DVLA guidelines, but you do need to know where to look them up. You need to know that they exist and know that you have to tell the person about it, and you have to move like that. The variety is just phenomenal. Okay.
And great fun.
And great fun, yes.
And I'm sorry about having retired 6 months ago. I've forgotten it was before.
It showed teamwork though, because Rob was straight in there to let you know.
But it's one of the joys of general practice is actually that I know it was quite hard telling that man some hard facts, but one of the great joys of a 32-year-old career is that I've seen diseases almost disappear. When I was first starting out, you would regularly go and see somebody who had a dense stroke and was unable to walk, and you just wait and see what happened. I can't remember the last time I saw that.
No.
And that's because the medical profession, in which general practice has played its part, has made these illnesses come under control.
Yeah. Control of blood pressure, control of cholesterol management. Treating TIA seriously used to happen when I started. Yeah.
And then that makes me all the more comfortable with actually looking in between the eyes and saying, I know it's tough at the moment, but actually, the outcome will be good. And you see that, and you see it over the same person. And in 5 years' time, when you still haven't had your stroke, then actually, I'm sure that the discomfort of that moment will be long forgotten.
Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask from what we've just demonstrated there with the simulation? I do have a few questions that have come in if you want to have a chance to think about that. Obviously, we'll be winding up shortly, but there are some very good questions that have been asked, and we do intend to provide those to you. I realise I'm talking to a virtual network behind the desk. Well done, Claire.
So Claire is the person who's sort of sorted all this out and set it up and has been speaking behind the microphone all this time.
I like to hide.
You do, shrinking violet or something. And we do intend to answer all the questions that have been submitted in due course. So sorry if we haven't covered yours just yet.
A number of questions that we have received are what is it like to be a GP? And I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight as to just some of the consultations that you'd experienced. But I mean, there is so much to experience as being a GP, and the best thing to do is to, give it a try. You won't regret it. I've been involved now with GP training for about 13 years and never get tired of it. And it's lovely to see so many new faces each year. And going to promotional events such as the BMJ Careers event. And we capture a lot of people there, and as well as locally. And we hope to stream this webinar It has been recorded and it will be live and available. So by all means, you can pass that on to your friends and like-minded people. So basically, I mean, Rob, would you like to give a summary or?
Yeah, I mean, just to sort of pull things together in a way. I mean, I think that what we've seen tonight is something of the variety of general practice. And I've been a GP for 25 years now, and certainly one question here is that a preconception that the job can become tedious. I think what we've shown with a couple of examples, what we've shown with the additional things that you can do with your career, the fact that you can take it in lots of different directions, that it is far from tedious. And I would like to just reinforce that even after all these years, it is the best job that you could possibly do. You see everything, you can manage the vast majority of things without referring them to specialists. Yes, there are things you do need to refer for further investigations, but you manage so much yourself if you have the training and the competence which you get by taking part in a training program, and it's great. Any questions?
I just want to say a special thanks to the panel, so the panel members, thank you very much, Rita, Eugene, Graham, Ian behind the desk there, like DJ there. Mike, thank you so much for your career questions. Those were very good and pretty much on par with what we do to get on a regular basis. Louise, thank you for your support from me. And obviously, I have to say a special thank you.
Can we have our patients back?
Yes,
thank you very much.
Of course, this wouldn't have been possible without the joint venture of health education working closely with the Royal College of GPs, and we do hope to do more working together. And Claire is here from the RCGP local faculty and will be available to answer queries afterwards. But also, if there's any questions that can be put to me, and I'll make sure that Claire receives those to pass to the right people. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.